What's going on, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the video. We are back on America Farming with a new DLC pack. We'll be looking at everything that comes in it, all the information you need to know to make the smartest decision you can about buying the pack. Let's get on into it. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, this update was, of course, called the Truck Pack. Alongside of it being called the Truck Pack, I personally call it the Rolling Coal Customs Pack because they ended up changing a lot of different stuff. Let's get on into the change list. But before we get into what the actual main content of this new DLC and update was, let's go ahead and get into like the minor fixes of what they've all done. They've of course changed minor bug fixes to performance upgrades to memory optimization to make sure that your game is increased. They also fixed render distance of the grass so it looks a little bit better when rendering. Additional new features, meaning rolling coal. That is more or less what I call this update. The rolling coal added to the vehicles. It takes effect with all semi-trucks in-game and a pickup truck that's in game, other than you have this little tractor right here, and then you have the starter truck. It does not affect those because those are gas engine vehicles. But let's get on into the vehicles it does affect with the rolling coal. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go through this list as fast as we can because you all know these tractors by now. You have the Case IH 9370, the Case IH MX 230, you have the International 1086, you have the International 166, and then you have the 1206 here as well. It does affect all these older tractors right here. It should not affect any other tractors. I kind of played with them all, make sure that these were the ones that affected. These are what count as the old iron in the game, so if you're ever wanting to do a playthrough and you don't know, two right here are counted as old iron. I was a little surprised this one was counted as old iron, but I can see how it is. But let's go ahead and get on to what the information y'all want to know that is the most important stuff. The new DLC trucks. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, at the price point of $4.99, I believe what is the price. Do not quote me 110% on that. It has been a little bit since I've been playing with this. Of course, as everybody knows, I am a beta tester for American Farming. So I believe it is $4.99. I cannot find any information that makes it relatively easy for me to be able to see how much these DLCs cost. But this should be about $4.99 if I'm not mistaken. But this is what's important, what comes with this DLC pack. You have 4 new trucks and 3 new beautiful semi trucks. Let's get into each one of these as we can. Now, starting off here, you have more of your Chevy. Now, of course, you cannot change the color of them, so you have your blue Chevy here. They did change the front end. They did an amazing job. To my knowledge, these are all custom 3D models that they've done, and what a job they have done with this one. No, of course, no badging, so this is a technical squad built truck, but we all know what this looks like at the end of the day. This is the squad built truck 2. So of course you can have it base model or lifted or base. So basically adds another $3 grand on top of it and adds lifted or not to your wheels. You have several different options to choose from, which none of those cost any extra money. On top of that, you have your cab. It adds another $1,280 if you put in a sunroof or not. Your bed of your truck, you can change it to silver or like a metal color, and then back to normal bed, which it costs no additional money. I personally really love this one right here. Now, mud flaps, you can choose to put mud flaps on it. It does cost an additional $350 or $300 depending on what you choose. Bumper, you can put a bumper guard, a cow pusher as I call it. Stairs for $650. Fenders, do you want fenders on this? I highly recommend the fenders. Now, this is what it gets really cool. By the way, this entire build that I just built here is $40,150 in game. Now let's kind of look at this. Now this is something that you gotta see is like how the rolling coal works. So it's not like it's automatic or anything like that, but once you get it to speed, then it starts really putting out the coal. I believe the engine load has to be underneath like 70% engine load before it'll start putting out coal. Overall, I mean, these trucks run really nice. The lifted on these trucks I highly recommend, and of course they attach to the trailers real easy. Now, of course, you have your limited forward-looking vehicle. It's a two-tone, not the highest fan of that yellow, but it is a two-tone white vehicle with a yellow beige second tone. And let's go ahead and look into it. Now, I will say this again: front bumpers changed, lights are changed, just to make sure that they have no copyright laws against them, is what I'll take a guess at. But let's get on into the price points and what everything looks like. This truck starting off is $35,000. Has 475 horsepower, holds 29 gallons, and goes 50 miles an hour. Of course, same as the other truck, you have a lifted, you can choose your wheel options that are free, your cab option. I believe all these have the exact same options, so I'm not going to bore you amongst it all. Bumper, you can do all that stuff. Toolbox, you want a toolbox? No toolbox. Rolling coal, there you go. And of course, this build right here is $42,030. Let's take a look at that vehicle, and here it is. Now this right here is a really marvel of a vehicle. I personally like the white all the way throughout. I mean, now still second tone, not the biggest fan of it. I'd just rather a completely white truck, but the designers knew what they were doing. Now let's talk about this bad thing right here. This is your Ford Ranger-esque vehicle, or I don't know, maybe a Dodge. I'm not 100% sure. If you know what truck this is, leave it down in the comment section down below. I'm not the best with vehicles either, so this is where it comes into me not knowing anything, so I'm gonna let y'all decide what this is in the comment section down below. This is a squad built truck 4. Of course, you can choose between utility, you have your toolbox on it, and you can add coal. Now of course, you can also choose what kind of woods you want. You cannot make this into a dually, but you can put the metal bed on it like normal. Mud flaps, bumper, stairs, toolbox, and of course the rolling coal. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this will be one of your cheaper trucks of the DLC, starting at $25,000 with fully upgraded at $26,250. Now this one I full-heartedly believe is the Dodge. You let me know if this is a Dodge or Ford. I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna let y'all have that debate down there. Of course, the front grille has been changed. Now this is a squad built truck 5. Starts at $25,000. You can change customization of the wheels, bed on it. You can put a bumper. Everything you need to do is going to turn the exact same amount, and it's going to end up costing you $27,450 to completely max this truck out. And of course, it'll roll coal just like everything else here. Moving on into finally my favorite category, the semi trucks. You have your good old Mack truck here. Like, this is what everybody will love and enjoy, is this old beautiful piece of art. Now I really do think these artists did a really good job with these. My favorite one out of all of them is this Kenworth in the middle, or no, this is a Peterbilt. Of course, you have your 3 trucks here. You have your good old Mack truck, I believe that is. You have your good old Peterbilts, and then you have your Kenworth here. Let's get on looking into what these trucks look like and how you can customize these. Now this semi trucks are pretty easy. It's just, do you want to add coal or not? This is an option all the way around the board. Do you want to add coal or do you not? That's just so you're not looking at the coal. Let's look at a truck with coal. As you can see, it's nothing much, but this right here get in your way every now and then, so you need to choose. Of course, once you choose coal, there's no going back. Of course, in my opinion, the coal's really fun. Look at that. We're rolling coal, boys. We're rolling coal. Yeah, no, that's just some information you know. All the trucks basically have the coal function. The other 2, I believe, have 2 smoke pipes, and that means that it'll come out both smoke pipes, not just one. So please do keep that in mind when buying these trucks. Make sure that it's not going to affect the way you play the game. Now, of course, this truck right here costs $75,000, which this truck costs $75,000 is really interesting, because this now puts this as the cheapest truck in the game, because that's 500 horsepower, 240 gallons of diesel, and goes 50 miles an hour. It's a beautiful truck all the way around. I personally love this truck with a stretch frame, and I think there's a lot more that they can do with it in the future. Moving on to the next one, the Peterbilt. In my opinion, that's what this is. Of course, you have your rolling coal custom, and this one is $85,000, and it's nothing really more special than the last one. It's a beautiful truck, beautiful model, and I really love the way it's built. And of course, rounding everything off with my favorite semi truck out of all of them, the Kenworth, the one that looks more like what you would use on an everyday farm. This is $85,000. And of course, you have the rolling coal feature or the non-rolling coal feature, which is the same as the other truck. Has 500 horsepower, holds 240 gallons, and goes 50 miles an hour. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, y'all will enjoy the new American Farming DLC like I have been enjoying it. If you have any questions at all, please leave it down in the comment section down below. Any questions about the new DLC? Is there any information you want to know? Please leave it down there, and I will answer as soon as I possibly can. But with no further ado, from me, the entire team here, we'll see you next time. Peace.